Hey, hey, hey. All right, so I think this came from like all these electronics came from this guy right here, which is an Emax Tiny Hawk 3, I believe. So anyway, putting it on I got a AIO 15 long time ago. I got it on a, what's it called? A Christmas, Black Friday thing that they had going on. So I bought it and it was bad. Um, Here's the bad one right here. So the bad one, I got it all wired up, plugged it in, and then nothing. No worky. So they sent me a new one. I had to send, all I had to do was send them some pictures, and they sent me a new one. So I've never had any bad experiences with HDZero support. They've always been good to me. So now I'm going to try to redo everything. Just make sure it's really clean. Let's put it down here so I can really put everything in place the way I need it for my shaky self, since I am Mr. McShaky. And yeah, let's blow this popsicle stand. So I think last time I had these leads, battery leads, coming up through this arm, which keeps them out of the props for one, which is always good. All right, so V is voltage, which is red, and G is ground, which is black. And there we go. We can just get them kind of pushing themselves up in these little castellations on the side. So I want them to go straight down. I don't want them going off the side, like 90. I want them to go at 90 degrees off the side. I don't want them going like horizontal like that. You know, I don't want them going like that. I want them going at an acute angle. So let's put some flux on there. And then we shall heat up some solder and make it smoke. Let's make some smoke and solder. This is the smoke and solder section. Well, that's not in a very good spot, is it? Let me move this over here. There we go. That better? Okay. At least now I'm not blocking the camera with my arm. You're moving. What are you moving? Okay, got it. Last thing I need is stuff moving on me. Put some smoke and solder. Get out of my way, wires. Put everything in my way. Get out of the way. And let's just go there. We're touching that cap. I don't want to touch that cap. Get off that cap. There we go. Now it's off the cap. Now let's move this closer. so that it's not in the, it's more in my spot. Where did it go? There it is. What's up, babes?
Recording?
Mm-hmm. Nobody's watching, but I'm recording.
What's doing?
Putting the power leads on this.
That drawing?
Yeah. Why? Okay.
Over my skin. So
Okay.
I don't need that. I didn't know if you were using your mat. That's what I was looking at.
On Mac?
Mat. I got
Oh.
you. You don't need it for this?
No.
Okay. Toodles.
Bye. Come on. Get on the pad. You want more on the pad. There you go. Takes a while because the ground has a big old piece of copper behind it. And it takes a while to heat up. Whereas the not ground, the voltage one, is just kind of over here hanging out on the side. Now I got to make sure those two aren't touching. And the best way to do that is not eyeballing it. It is using a multimeter. So we'll turn the multimeter off, and then we'll turn it on to see if there's conductivity. And I bet that, no, there they are. Okay. See if there's conductivity between the two. You'll hear it. We heard a beep, a short beep. That's a capacitor. That's this capacitor on the that's where is it? Why can't you see it? Let's move this over this way a little bit. And down a little bit. A little bit of this. Let's move it closer. I'll just put it right there. No, that's not good. Not dang. I want my charger. Just turn it around. There we go. Okay, now you can see what I'm working on. Okay, so there's a capacitor on here, right on the end of this XT30. And when I see it, just for a blip, it says, yep, and then it says no. Now, if they were touching, they would make a noise. Everything that's ground makes a noise. Thing with a G is on the ground. Ground. All the grounds. Grounds all over the place. There's grounds. Okay, so now we can power this up. And so before I go any further, I do want to power it up. And you don't want to power it up without an antenna. So there's an antenna plugged in. And so the VTX isn't going to burn up. Which means I need to get my HDZero goggles, which are right here. I need this, which is my don't blow it up thingy. And then I need some power. Let me get a battery. All right, here's the battery. So homemade 4S 18650. And I'm going to plug this in to my HDZero goggles. And then I'm going to here's an antenna. Let's take this antenna and put it on my goggles. I don't need but one antenna. I really don't need any antennas. It'd probably get the signal with just one or without any. But I'm going to put one on just so we can have a good strong signal when I turn it on. Because this will be the first time this one has ever had any power. I'll just turn it off. Well, this battery doesn't have enough juice apparently, because it is not turning on my goggles. Or maybe it's that plug, because this plug works. All right, they're powering on now. So let's plug the quad in with the short saver or whatever it's called. I need a 2S battery. Here's a 2S battery. I don't know if this one's any good. Let's see. I'll plug it in. And the light comes on, which is good. Put my goggles onto HDZero. All right, they're ready to scan. Let's turn this on. And it's booting up. It's scanning, sees race 1. There's a signal. It says land now. And there is no video. No video. So something is not quite, I'm seeing sparkles, but I'm not seeing any video from this camera. That's not good. You gotta figure out why there's no video. But it is transmitting because I'm getting the sparkles, I'm getting the land now. So that means the voltage is there. All right, plug that. So the first thing would be to figure out why we're not getting any video. And if you look at this solder connection there, it does not look great. This solder connection does not look great. Right there, the yellow cable is not the best. Sorry, I'll shake. Let's see if I can hold this steadier. Yeah, see, that's not a very good solder joint right there. Not good at all. I think that'll work. So we need to fix this solder joint. If I can find my flux. Here it is. Put that right there. And then let's hit it real quick. Well, now it's off. It's not exactly what I was going for. I'm guessing C means camera. I need more stuff in here. Solder. Need more solder. Okay. Are you ready to go? Let's put this down here. So you're not going to be able to see this, but this is not where I was expecting to be working on. I thought it was just going to be going around the corners doing the motors, but I gotta get the camera working first. See, last time I kind of built the whole thing before I figured out that AIO was bad. So this time I want to go component by component, make sure each one is good, and then when I'm done, I should be done. Ooh, that looks like a great solder joint there. Temps at 700 degrees Fahrenheit on my solder station. All right, let's plug this thing in again. Let me get a different battery. Okay, I've got a battery. Let's plug it into the smoke stopper. That's what it's called, smoke stopper. And then we'll plug it in. I won't turn it on yet because I need to turn my goggles on, which just means I need to plug them in. And as they come on, I will then turn on. There we go. The board is now on. And I see nothing from the camera. So we're going to scan. Now it sees it. But do I see any video? No, still no video. Huh. I wonder why. Yep, not seeing any video at all. Oh, maybe it's not getting power for whatever reason. So let's unplug the goggles again. And now let's change this to volts. And now let's see if we have volts going on these leads that go to the, oh, fudge duck, that is freaking ridiculously hot. All right, maybe it's just powered off because it's so dang hot. Let's turn this fan on. Yowza, that was hot. Ooh, that was not good. All right. And this thing is now on a fan. Let's put it upside down on the fan for now, just so it can really get some good air. Oh, I knocked the camera. Oops. Okay, so hopefully that has calmed down a little bit. It's not quite so hot. Let's see if it's transmitting video now. HDZero sign is up, and no signal yet. Let's call it the scan. And there's R1. And now it's saying land now. I'm getting that the VTX is super hot. So let's cool it down even more. You know how to cool it down even more? There's some liquid air on it. And now the VTX is not hot at all. I just cooled that sucker way down. There's still no video signal. So it is not getting a video signal at all from the camera. So this means we need to figure out where the power, is this just not getting power? Is the camera not getting power? Or what? So let's plug this back in. Let's give it 1 amp of power. And then let's get our voltmeter and test and see if there's power going to the camera. So there's the red wire and there's a white wire. Actually, red and black. Red and black. Come on. Black and red. Those might be, what's going on? Those might be shorted. Let's unplug this thing. Yeah, what's up with this red wire? This red wire is not properly soldered. So let's get this red wire off of here. It's on something. Like it's soldered to something, but it's definitely not where it's supposed to be. Yeah, it's on the freaking ground. Oh, that's not good. All right, need some of this stuff. Some solder snot. That's what I'm gonna call it, solder snot, because that's kind of what it looks like. And then I got too big of a blob of solder, so let's try to make it a little more reasonable, which is not happening. Okay, I need you to quit moving. Quit moving. Would you quit moving. All right, we're gonna put this over here. I'm just gonna face it towards here. Give us some hey, what's up? Vikrantiadov7. What's up, dude? Sounds like you might be from India. Is that true? Welcome, my friend. Welcome. Working on getting this camera working right now. So I need to hold it in place. I'm going to move my whole station back just a little. It's too far up. Put all of this stuff that's going to go flying on the floor over here, like that. And then let's move this. I wish I knew what these screws were for that came with this AIO. It's got these little tiny screws. These little tiny screws. These little tiny screws. They came with this HDZero AIO. They came in the bag, in the box with it. But I don't know what they're for. I don't see anything that I can use them for. So if anybody knows, let me know. All right, let's plug in the battery. So we've got a 2S battery. We're going to plug that in here to the smoke stopper. And then it's not powering on the, so by default, it's got a yellow light. And the yellow light just means that it's got battery coming into it. And then we have to make sure that we're getting voltage to the pin I'm about to solder it to. So we can put the black on any black ground pin, including the battery, but I'm just going to use that one. And then put right here, I should be seeing 5 volts. But I'm not seeing 5 volts. Why am I not seeing 5 volts? Because I didn't turn it on. You gotta turn it on. Okay, so there's 2 buttons on this smoke stopper. This one is green, and there's one over here that moves it up to 2 amps of power. We only need 1 amp of power right now. Okay, now let's see if we get 5 volts. So I'll put it on ground. And this pin, and it's 5 volts. Okay, so we have 5 volts there. So let's turn it back off. And now let's solder, or solder if you are British English. We'll put this right here on this 5-volt pad. I should take these propellers off, but I like living very dangerously. And I don't plan on spinning them up anytime soon. We're just going to be working on getting the camera working. There we go. All right, that is soldered to the 5-volt pad now. So let's get the HDZero goggles, plug them in. It will boot up. See that inside they say HDZero. Not very well, but HDZero. And now I'm going to see if I can scan for that frequency and tell it to, oops, what is it? Scan now. It's scanning. Should see it on raceband 1 as soon as I turn it on, which I need to do that. There we go. Scan now. It sees it on raceband 1. There's camera. Cool. All right. So let's make sure we have the right. Yep. All good. I see the camera. See if I can put this on the screen for you. Don't know if I can or not, but come on, adjust to the brightness. Whoa. I didn't say fall over. I said adjust to the brightness. It's kind of that song, Down with the Sickness. On for a little trip. There we go. Now it's overheating. So you're seeing all that. That's because the AIO is getting hot. And I got it in there before. I don't know why I can't get the image to show up now. Let's turn it off. Let's not cook. Let's not cook it. Let it get cool. Let it get cool. Still not completely where I need to be. Hold on. Thanks for hanging with me. All right. All right. So that actually works. So we've got the camera working. Next is to get the motors soldered to here. So let's get that going. There are 3 wires from each motor that go to the AIO, and that's because these motors are 3-phase PWM pulse width modulation motors. It means they are highly controllable. They can actually spin them. They can monitor how fast they're spinning, and then they can adjust the spin. And when I say spin, I mean like from 0 to like around 30,000 RPMs. And we lost everybody. Nobody's watching me. That's fine. I don't mind. Because I'm doing this for me. Let's put that. You know what? Let's trim just the tiniest hair off of the end of that. I don't want anything touching anything else. So let's go right there. And I'm just going to cut the tiniest fraction off. But I need my snips. Where are... There they are. A whole bunch of snips. There's my snips. Let's cut just the end off. Just like the end of those snips is cut off. Came off. All right. You know what? I'm going to hold this in place with one of these. It's kind of the whole reason for it, right? OmniFixo is there to fix it in any position. And that's actually what I need to have happen with this, is to be fixed in position, because I am so dang shaky So I can just get it exactly where it needs to be. And I can just touch it with a hot iron, and I will have what I need. There's some magic solder grease, solder snot. And we'll just hold that right there and then just touch this for a second. And now we'll touch it for 2 seconds because that's the wrong one. I want it on the one with the grease, not the one next to the one with the solder flux. There we go. Ooh, that looks perfect. Nice and shiny. Just go straight up to where it needs to be. Now let's do the next one, which will go right there. Yep. Let's put some more of this fluxy flux on there. And then we will hold the wire on it. I'm gonna try this one left-handed, but I gotta get over my microphone arm. Okay. Definitely need a better setup for streaming while doing electronics. And problem with my left hand is it's even more shaky than my right. But now that it's on there, let's move over to the right hand and let's clean this nip. And then let's put some more solder on it. And we'll try this, try to make it look better. Because it's not just about looks, it's also about having a really good solder connection. So that's really what I'm going for, is I'm going for a great solder connection. You don't want to have anything come loose while you're flying. Right? You know. Let's just hold that right there. Man, that is close. I wonder if that's actually touching the other ones. You know how we can tell? Because I got my trusty Radio Shack multimeter that will tell me that things are touching. Touch those two, and they're not touching. That I'm touching it on purpose. That is the... Okay, looks good to me. All right. 2 down. 11 to go. 11 to go. That's why I do this, because it's fun. Isn't this fun? You know, I try to make it fun. It's hard to get this motivation sometimes, but my wife and I have an agreement that I will spend 1 hour per day building drones to sell so I can get rid of some. Because that's really what I need to do. I need to get rid of some and make some money because I'm not making any money right now. So maybe I can sell some drones. I tried selling pieces of drones. Nobody buys pieces of drones. They just want built drones. That's what I'm doing. All right. Pretty sure this one is good to go. When I get done, I will wrap that with tape This is why it's not doing so great, because it's blowing backwards. I need to change the direction of power so it blows air on it. Wi-Fi Nahi Chai Raha Drone Kakao. What the heck does that mean? I'm gonna put that into ChatGPT. Ask it. What does that say? Anyone know what Hello Bahaya Wi-Fi Nahi Cha Raha Drone Karu? Anybody know what that means? No idea. Okay, so we've got one motor. We got the camera, which is the Nano. Is it the Nano? No, the Lux camera. I've always wanted to fly the Lux. Now I will have my chance as soon as I get all these motors soldered on here. We've got one motor soldered on, 3 to go. We can do it. You can do it. You can do it all night long. Can't be up all night long. But let's see. I think I need to put some solder on the tip of this wire here. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, let's hold this with these pliers because it gets hot quick, man. Start putting 700 degrees on one of these. And it's like really hot, really quick. Amazing how fast it heats up. Let's put some solder flux, also known as solder snot, what I'm calling it. I don't care. Calling it solder snot. And touch that just for a minute. Not even a minute. And that is soldered on very nicely. Let's clean the tip. Put it in the holder. Let's get the next one ready. And it needs to be put together so it's not so spread out. You don't have much space at all on these AIO solder pads for these tiny 2S AIOs. There's like no space at all. There we go. That started to melt, but not enough to weld itself to the AIO. Now it is, but it needs more solder because I cleaned the tip of the soldering iron, and it just needs a little bit of solder on there to let it's trying to put it all on there, and it's all dry now. So we just need to make sure it's good and soldered. Put your arm on a rest, especially when you're ridiculously shaky like me. Let's go. That was not good. Let's try this again. Oh, that's much better. Okay. Wire 2 of this motor is soldered on. Now we're going for wire number 3. And we're going to use the, let me fix it if we can. I'll hold this dude still right where we need to. That is like the world's smallest target to solder. It's literally not even a millimeter, I would say. It's ridiculous. Just utterly, utterly ridiculous how tiny of a spot you're supposed to solder that. I mean, much less the fact that someone who's very shaky is trying to solder this. All right, let's just touch it. Touch it. Let go of some solder, dude. You're like, I need you to fill it up with some solder. I don't need you to weld it on there without any solder, except just barely. I need like a fillet of solder. I don't want it to be just tacked on. I want it to be nicely soldered on, you know? So can you please, pretty please, just leave some solder behind? I mean, I've got you just sitting right there. There we go. That's what I wanted. I just want a little silver cap of solder holding you down. Good job. Good job. That's 2 motors down, 2 to go. And then I should be able to take this for a flight. Even though it's nighttime, it doesn't matter because the HDZero Lux camera is really good at nighttime flying. You can fly this drone, not in like pure darkness, but like street lights, no problem. City lights, things like that, no problem. No problem at all. So we should be good to go to take this for a test flight after I get these next 2 motors done. That'll be the next step after I get this motor and then the next motor, which is 6 wires to get soldered on. Okay, this is another world's smallest soldering connection. Like, it looks like it's even touching the edge of this MOSFET or controller, or I don't even know what that is. Some little dude. Some little guy. But I got it. Got you, little sucker. Little sucker dude. Let's get your brother next door. That looks good. Burned my finger, but it looks good. And then the last one for this motor. That looks like that needs a little doctoring up. Yeah, there we go. Let's not burn ourselves on this one and use let's use a metal holder instead of your finger. How about that? Still want to buy a drone from Fractal Designs that's fully built, just because Eves is the guy that owns that company, and his attention to detail and quality, I don't know that anyone else comes anywhere close. Like, it's true like mastercraft stuff. He does not play around. Okay, I see a little tiny burr. Never like that. What is that? There's needs some more solder on there though. It's not quite like I like it. You can see the strands of the wire I don't want to see the strands of the wire. I want it to be completely covered in solder so that it's just nice connection. Like that. Much better. Okay. Last motor. Last motor. And then I'll hook it up to Betaflight, make sure the settings are right, the props turn correctly. And then I'll go for a flight. Question is, which one do I put where? Everybody's going to work on a Wednesday night. All these are like too long except that one. That one doesn't look too long. Let's put that one there. And let's use our equipment. So much junk, metal junk gets attached to these little orbs. It's not the one. It's the one next to it. Put that one, the smallest one. There we go. All right, stay. Stay right there. Quit moving. Stay. Okay, it doesn't want to stay, so I'm going to have to kind of hold it a little. Let's put some solder glue on here. Do I have solder on the end of my tip? I don't know, a little bit. Let's see if I have enough. Yep, looks like it. That one's done. 2 to go. We do this again, please. That right there. That is so close, man. So close to the other wires. Let's see if we can put this on without it bridging anything else. There's like no clearance, hardly at all, any of this. Put a little solder on our tip. All right. We can just touch that ever so slightly. Yeah, we're touching it. It's melted. Moved. All right, you turd. Back over there. Hey, there it is. Perfect. Perfect on the second try. All right, let's get, we got one more to go. And then I can hook it up to Betaflight and start programming it. Make sure all my modes are correct and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. All that stuff. OSD. And then I want to go fly it. It's got a Lux camera. And the Lux camera is good for night flying. So I'm going to try it. All right. We need some more solder on here. I do like having this fan so that I'm not breathing all this smoke from the solder. That's kind of new. Maybe that's some kind of health condition I should worry about. All right, let's put some solder goo on here. Flux. There we go. Smallest boards in the world. Actually, the 1S ones are a little smaller than this, but my goodness, these are tiny little solder pads. I mean, look at this, guys. Let go. Let go. Look how tiny these solder pads are. Put some light on it. See how tiny those solder pads are for those motors? They're just ridiculously tiny. But you just need to tape the wire down. Let's get some tape. Get this out of the way. Let's get some tape. Where's tape? There's tape. So this is like wiring loom tape. It's really good for this stuff. It's pretty cheap. You can get a whole pack of it on Amazon. It's like a fabric tape. You don't want to use anything that weighs a lot because every microgram counts on these tiny. The smaller you get, the more weight. I mean, weight counts on everything. I mean, look at the Artemis mission. They're like having issues with the weight of the toilet right now because it's on there, but it doesn't work. So I was like, why did you bring a toilet if it's not going to work? Well, I guess you still need a toilet. Kind of gross. Right, let's tape these wires down so we don't hit it with the propeller. That's the main thing. That one. And get this one taped down. And this is nearing completion, man. Like, and I'm gonna be selling this, so usually the places I sell them are on Bardwell's Discord. So if you know anything about drones, you know who Joshua Bardwell is. And that's where I usually put stuff up for sale. And this will be probably next week. I'll probably fly it some this weekend. Get some good video, make sure everything's working well. It is a HDZero 2S. Bang, come on, go in the hole. Don't you want to go in the hole? There it is. All right, just needed enough force and the metal pliers. And eventually I will trim that down and stuff, but I think it's looking pretty good. I wonder what the weight's going to end up being. Any guesses? It's a TP3 with an HDZero AIO. The AIO 15, which means it can handle 15 amps. And then these motors, let's see what these motors are. They're Emax, made in China, 7,000 kV, Tiny Hawk 1202.5. So I'll pull this off the Tiny Hawk 2, which is this guy right here. And you see it's basically the same format but I don't know. I think this frame is more efficient. Let's see, one more piece of tape for this motor, and then we'll hook it up to the computer and get us some let's see. Let's put the okay, eventually I'll put this VTX antenna through the back of the TPU. That way it doesn't get cut off by one of these props, because I could see it like coming down and getting in a prop. So we'll actually, why wait? Let's do it now. Don't wait, because then you'll forget, and then you'll get mad because you cut off your antenna, and then your VTX is like overheating because the SWR is too high, and you know, just all the bad things start to happen because you just waited. You thought you'd do it later. Why procrastinate when you can do it now, right? So we're going to put this through the TPU and then just pull it up like that. So now we've got, and while we're doing that, let's pull the ELRS antenna. Let's not pull it off. We don't want it parallel to the VTX antenna, but now we've got the VTX antenna is the one with the plastic that's basically in profile in front of the red propeller. And then the ELRS antenna, which is how you control it, is this little piece of copper right there. Hey, it's the Metal Crafts. What's up, guys? So I'm almost done with the build, and next will be, this is an HDZero AIO2. It's basically the guts of a Emax Tiny Hawk 2 that I put on a TP3 toothpick. So it's a HDZero AIO, and then this is the Lux camera because I'm jealous of Mrs. Metalcraft and her Lux camera that she gets to fly at night all the time. And I'm so jealous that I bought this back during the Black Friday, and I got this whole thing wired up, ready to go, now plugged in a battery, and the AIO would not turn on. And so that's this AIO right here. And I had to take pictures and stuff, but HDZero support was really great. And they sent me a new one, a whole new kit. So that's what this is. And so I've just finished putting my Emax Tiny Hawk 2 motors and props on here, this TP3, and then I'm using the AIO 15 2S, and it comes with this little pigtail that's got the capacitor built into it, and you know, just a little toothpick, and yeah, they're very, very well known Emax props. It's Emax props, Emax motors. And I have an Emax battery downstairs, so I might be able to enter it into the iGal Emax, you know, if I do some tricks with this. I think you have to have 3 pieces of Emax on it. I'm not sure, but that might give me 3. And I think I put the camera on backwards though. Yeah, because I need a third point to hold the front of this camera down. So. But my next step, now that I've got everything taped down, I did tape everything down, didn't I? Yeah. Is to hook it up to Betaflight And actually, you know what I want to do first? I want to make sure it still transmits to my HDZero goggles. So let's plug them in. And that's powered on. And then I have a 2S battery. Where'd it go? Yeah, I haven't seen a night flight in a while. What happened to your tiny whoop that had the HDZero tiny whoop? Oh, here's the battery. So I've got my battery hooked up to my, whatchamacallit, my saver don't die thing. Anyway, let me go get another battery because I think that one's almost dead. Whoa. Sorry about that. Let's put this right here. Hi. Okay. Let's put this down. Okay. This is plugged in. I need to get a HDMI to the computer from my HDZero goggles. I'm actually going to be doing some. Have you guys heard of Spexy? I'm going to be doing some Spexy jobs this weekend. What happened? Just black. Let's turn this on. And I plan on doing more electronics repair content. I want to get where I can like fix AIOs and stuff. I don't think there's. I haven't seen an actual. Like I see places that will build a drone for you, but I haven't seen places that will fix. Oh, sweet. Yeah, that's great. I see video. I'm pretty sure that the AIO 15 has a SPI ELRS module in it though. So I'm not going to be able to set that up unless I get into beta flight. Let's see. She maybe got mad with flying in the snow and is having ESC problem. Mad with flying in the snow. Yeah, well, I know you weren't happy about it snowing at work the other day. That's kind of a bummer. Sorry, I'm trying to get my mount moved over to my monitor. There we go. All right. All right. Let's turn off the gangly fan. I have a gangly fan. Not very many people have a gangly fan. It's kind of cool. Ciati is an interesting dude. I'll just say that. I like his content when it's not his personal opinions on stuff, but he almost always has to. I don't mind the mental health content. I talk about how messed up my brain is too, all the time. But when he starts calling his viewers Nazis and stuff, that's just like too much, man. Like, we're not here. I mean, there's channels for that, and there's far right wing, far left wing, and he is definitely on the far left. I feel like I am center right a little in some areas and center left in some other areas, and I think the majority of Americans are too. Dude, that, hey, it's Cardinal, the red bird from Tennessee. What's up, man? Can y'all tell I'm from the South? Because I say y'all, and I feel like every now and then I say some of the similar things that Fat Pastor says, and in the same kind of inflection. And then I hear it and I'm like, what are you saying? It's like, well, that's because the way you say it. What was I doing? Oh yeah. Let's get this on the desktop. And then this is how I get my thumbnails. I'll take a picture on my phone, I'll email it to myself, and when you email it says, do you want to send small, medium, or large? And I pick the one that's under 2 megabytes. So it's auto gonna fit on the YouTube upload, blah, blah, blah. And then it just works. There's Betaflight. So I've got some movies that I wanna rip so I can put them on my Jellyfin. And holy cow, all the cool kids are here. Where's Jake? Jake, yo, what's up, dude? So, man, I don't know. Whatever I was saying, you guys know. I need to turn that off. We're done soldering, hopefully. And now I need to find that drone that I just put together. Did y'all see where I put it? I don't see it. I literally just had this. Oh, it's right in front of me. The microphone's blocking. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, I've got to get underneath here to plug in the USB dongle. Man, that's one of the bad things for mounting the AIO upside down on a TP3 is the luckily I put in double stacked gummies already, so it's not going to be like completely impossible. Part of the problem is going to be figuring out like which way the connector is supposed to go, so you're not trying to like shove it in 180 degrees out of phase with where it should be, so to speak. Let me get some even those pliers. And let's see if this will turn on. Where's the power on that? Just, oh, stay on. I've got to find a resistor. Oh, there it is. I've got to find a resistor to make, so I've got that plugged into my my UPS 24 volt battery pack, but only on the 12 volt side, but it's like 13.4 volts, and this needs to be like 13 point something. So I have like just a few of the wires connected, so there's high resistance going to it, so it doesn't get quite there's enough voltage drop that it comes on. And oh yeah, thanks, Jake. I was telling them earlier, I'm gonna go do some spexy jobs this weekend, hopefully make some money so I can get me a microscope. So, because one of the things I want to start doing actually might help you and GameHat, because GameHat was asking me, because I've done some electronics repair on my channel, like I fixed the sewing machine and some other stuff. I have a rework station, and I've done a little bit of SMD, surface mount device. Yeah. I think it's good for my brain to do this stuff. So I kind of want to get more into fixing stuff. And I think he probably has some AIOs come back to him that he mentioned that He didn't say that, but he mentioned like that there might be an opportunity or something with me. So I'm kind of hoping, like I can get into doing that because I don't think there's anywhere in the US that fixes ESCs or flight controllers. And the price of them is getting to a point now where like you don't want to throw it away. And if people could send it to me and if I can fix it, then throw me a few bucks. And if not, I'll use it as a spare to hopefully get someone else's fix. So I don't know. We'll see. Just because it's what I want to do doesn't mean I can do it, but I think I could. Um, yeah, it really isn't worth it most of the time, but for me, it's more about like the fun of doing it. Because if I end up like I just got denied long-term disability, but it's because they're stupid and they didn't have all the information. Like that's literally what they said is their third party couldn't get all of my doctor records from workers' comp. So I went down and I literally picked up a stack of paper that thick. That's my last year of going to workers' comp doctors and PDF scanned it all on my printer and getting a package to send back to them to appeal it. So if that doesn't work, I don't know what I mean. I don't know how I could work. My freaking brain is so fried right now from the brain injury from the wreck. So even doing this, like one reason I do this because then I'll be able to go to sleep. Hopefully, I'll probably stay up till 2 or 4. That's usually what I do, but this kind of helps tire my brain out doing this stuff. What was I doing? Oh, all right. I need to plug this USB in. Gotta go in. Gotta go in knowing it probably won't come back out. That sounds like something someone would say to heads. I'm just saying, I don't know what that means, but I I don't know. I'm not gonna guess. Let's see. I am a ham, so like I've built radios and stuff, and that's kind of fun. And like when I was in the Air Force, I used an oscilloscope literally every day in my job at Chine Mountain. But that was a long time ago. Used to use a lot of test equipment. Firebird 6000. Um, what else did I use? Hykemian 6909 or something like that. Used to use something called a protocol analyzer that could read ASCII, or it could read like, well, print out ASCII, but it could read ADCAP 128 ADCCP, which is like a mainframe protocol. It could read teletype, which was like an emulated teletype. Teletypes are like really, really like Vietnam era communication. It's like an automated typewriter. Came out after Morse code. Um, let's see. Trying to get this USB connector onto the board so that I can connect this to Betaflight. I think what I'll do is I'll just try to take it off because I need to end up spinning this camera mount around anyways. So before I get all confuse myself about which way is forward and which way is backwards, all that stuff, I'm just going to go ahead and take this TPU camera mount off. And I haven't actually bolted down the AIO yet. so I can pull it up a little bit and get some more room. Yeah, it's got a little bit more room to get up underneath there. Let me point this camera down so you guys can see more what I'm dealing with here instead of just my ugly face. All right, let's get a. Do I have? There's a flashlight. So I can. Ooh, that's too bright. Whoa, that's way too bright. Maybe that. All right, so the pins are on the top. That's all I needed to know. It's like where the pins are. That way I can look at this and see which end is the upside going into the pins. So at least I'm pushing the right side of this thing in here. I felt a little click. Let's see if we can get the other side. That may be good enough. Let's see. I'm glad the HDZero plugs work the same for their equipment as it does for, there it is. For like the, and it's like, it's so loose, it's like coming off and on. Come on, stay with me. There we go. I think it'll stay now. All right, now let's get into beta flight. Anyway, I'm looking at reflashing a DVD burner reader. Apparently, they some of them come able to see ultra high definition, but they don't let you. But you can reflash it, and then you can see it, and you can back up your movies. Warning, warning. All right, let's push this down, and then we can calibrate. And then let's see, where's the front? So as far as this thing is concerned, that is definitely not the same way the AIO is configured. So tilting this forward tilts it to the right. See how that tilts to the right? Tilting it to the left tilts it forward. So what does that mean? We need to clockwise. I keep moving everything. Forward alignment. Yeah. IMU. So it does need to be flipped apparently. Let's try 0. I don't know. Anybody know? I've got 50 cent. All I need is a little bit stuck in my brain because of that thing that I put at the end of my IDAO submission. All I need is a little bit of this, a little bit of that. All right. Is that, will that work? I think, yep, that's where it needs to be. Wait, yep, that's all three posts that I need to put the camera down. So that's good now. I really would like to take this for a flight tonight. And then I'll have some video to post as my second video that Raya can tell all the people out there that say, hey, you already submitted to, isn't this your third? And she can be like, hey, I counted. This is his second. Right? All right. My orientation is correct now, so that's good. What do you guys think? Should I take the props off or just send it? I don't think I should take the props off. I think I should just be quick about it, hold it. I mean, it's only up. And it's props out for one. So we need to do that. Save and reboot. Connect. Motors. Okay, so now we're props out, which is the way I had it before. Gonna plug it in. Hold it up above where my hands are out of the way of the props. Fingers. And we're going to just see. One. Wow, we might need some startup power or something. That's the right motor, but it was barely going. That one's going fine. That one's fine. Was this one going the right direction? No. Nope. 2 is the wrong direction. So just 2 needs to be reversed. Was it 2? Yes. 2 needs to be reversed. I'm fine. I'm fine. Well, that's fine. It didn't want to go, and then it went. Well, that was fun. All right, so let's change the motor direction. Stop motors. Motor direction. Yeah. Individually. 2. Reverse. Do I have to have the battery plugged in to do that? I wonder. I don't know. Let's see. Let's plug it in. Plug in. All right. Plugged in. Hold on to it tightly. Don't go to full power. Let's do 2. And let's do the. Yep, that's good now. Okay. All right, I think I'm ready to go take this dude out for a flight. I kind of want to leave the USB board just plugged in for now, and like tape it to the bottom. What do y'all think of that? I just tape it down on the bottom, and then put like something on top of it for like a pad for the battery. I don't know. To me, that sounds like a good idea. Is that dumb? You guys still with me? Ugh, or did my ASMR voice put you to sleep? Because you guys are down, I mean, way up. It's midnight where you are. My wife and I have been looking at places to live and somewhere that's cheaper than Colorado. Anybody got any suggestions? I'd like to be close to a beach. So it's kind of making it East Coast because we don't want to live around California because it's basically just more the same Colorado. Just kind of this antenna over here. I wish I knew what Jake meant. Kind of go in. No, you probably won't come back out. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. There we go. You know what? I'm not even gonna screw this down when I go for a test flight. I'm just gonna use the TPU to kind of hold it in place. Oh, I did hurt myself. You see that? I drew blood. This is why you don't test motors with the props on, guys. Don't be like McShaky. Take the props off. All right. Oh, I need to put my thingamabob on here. Oh, I need to connect. I need to put my ELRS. I need to check my modes tab. I'm not done. I'm not ready to go fly yet. And check the modes. Just turn. I think it's SPI. What do you guys think? Is it SPI? Receiver. It says serial, so let's see if it is. I could ask chat Google. Is the HDZero AIO 15 SPI or Wi-Fi ELRS? It should be serial. UART based, not SPI. Okay, cool. So I just need to let it sit here long enough that I can connect to it on Wi-Fi. Settings, Wi-Fi, and hopefully it shows up. I might have to plug in the battery because it's, nope, there it is. Express LRS RX. Cool. So I should be able to fly this pretty soon, like tonight. Let's go to 10.0.0.1. There it is. Bind phrase. Ooh, if you're listening, you're gonna hear my bind phrase. Mick Shaky FPV. Can you believe that? I told you my ELRS phrase. Oh no, what's gonna happen? You're gonna steal all my drones. Configuration updated. Okay. Unplug it. Plug it in. Turn this on. I love the Pocket. Best 60 bucks I ever spent. Okay, connect. You can do it. 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 Do it. Just do it. There it is. It's connected. Connect. Modes. Nothing, man. Nothing. Aux 1. Move this dude over. Now we can arm it. Now we're dangerous. And then let's go to angle. Add range. And we're going to flip that all the way up. So if I get into a crazy situation where I can't see, I can just quickly put it in angle and hit the throttle and try to hopefully get it into range again where I can see it. Flip over after crash, add range. That will be this one. And then beeper. Does HDZero have black box? I don't think it does. Beeper. Booyah. Beeper. We'll just make that go for both of those. Switch positions. Let's do black box is box 1 in case it does have black box. It'll start it. Okay, and then save it. Let's go to OSD. And I want to see, man, it doesn't have anything. Okay, let's do battery. Battery average cell voltage. That's what I like. Do the math for me. Put that up here because I'm not the cool kid that puts it, that has like the whole like copy paste thing that I can just copy paste it all in. Okay. Let's do throttle. Timer. Need to know how long I've been flying. And then what did I say? Throttle position. Anything else I should put on here? RSSI value. I know one of these is good to have. Let's try that one. I don't use it that much. This isn't for long range, so. Okay. Flight post statistics. Battery voltage and battery voltage. Watt hours used. Fly time total. LQ minimum are received signal to noise ratio, PBM value. Okay. And timer 1. I don't know what timer 2 is. Oh, at time of disarm. What's timer 1? Same thing? I don't get it. Okay. Save. All right, y'all. I am going to go fly a test run in the front yard. And if you see a recording on Saturday, Saturday, I don't remember when the live stream is. I can never remember stuff anymore. I'll see you on the Infinity Loop stream.